Alright, sorry for the delay. Welcome to the stream. So, today we're going to be playing in the arena, which changes every Friday. So today, let's see, last time it was random 60, so I think that means this time it is random 30. It's random 30. So I'll be playing some of random 30, and also I'll be mostly just playing quick play. So, yeah, we're going to play some games. Before I do that, just figure out where this went. Have the spoiler for this stream. All right. All right. So let's just resize that. Oh man. All right. Just ignore that. We're just going to fit this in here. You'll have to excuse my rigmarole. All right. So we have Bold Leader. So Bold Leader is a good one-cost champion. So it's a 10 offense, 10 defense. You play it, and you get 2 human tokens. So worst case scenario, it's a 10 offense, 10 defense, where that comes with 2 humans. If you're a gold, so you can think of it kind of like Palace Guard. I mean, not Palace Guard. People's Champion, except it's a bit stronger when it initially comes into play, and it doesn't have that ally ability that gives you more humans over time. And then if you reveal 2 good cards in your hand, all of your human champions gain Blitz's turn. Now, what's really big about this is, how's it going, Cash? Is the loyalty 2 is not just affecting your human tokens, but all of your human champions gain Blitz. So Bold Leader gains Blitz, your tokens that it makes gain Blitz, and then if you have other humans that came into play this turn, those would also gain Blitz. So it's another aggressive token card, and basically you can play this in decks that don't have a lot of good cards if you just want a reasonably sized body with some fodder for gold. If it's in Dark Draft, maybe you'll pick this up a little earlier than you would most Loyalty 2 cards, because it's okay if you don't have anything to go along with it. Alright. So I'll just leave that up for a second while I navigate over. I think what we're going to do is make a new deck, because I've been playing the same one for a while, and then we'll just do some quick play until we see people in the arena. Alright. Just pull this down. Let's get into it. Alright. So we're going to make a deck first. Let's use this slot right here. Alright, so we're going to make a new deck. I'm going to make what we could do is I can make another human tokens deck. I know that we we used Tom's tokens deck and we changed it a little bit, but I haven't ever really just gone in and made a human tokens deck. Even though we've played the junk tokens, I think this one will be a bit different. So I'm going to make a human tokens deck today, and I'll explain what human tokens is, and basically also just what it is about. So when we look at human token cards, I think that maybe a card like Secret Legion is a good example. So let's just go over to Secret Legion here. So Secret Legion puts 6 human tokens into play, and it gives all of your human champions Blitz's turn. So basically, when you play a card like Secret Legion, you get a lot of things, but on its own, it's not very strong. So a big part of these really small token decks is that you want to have synergy with making your small things a threat. And also, human tokens in particular tends to be very explosive. So giving all of your human splits can be very powerful, but at the same time, it's a bit risky because if your opponent has a flash fire or a wither, you just get blown out. So knowing when to go all in is a big part of playing human token decks. So generally, one thing I like to do when I'm making a human tokens deck is make sure I have plenty of card advantage. What I mean is just ways to get more cards. So I think this is pretty important. A lot of people will just go ahead and put in some of the more extreme fast cards in their deck, but you definitely need to have ways to refill your hand so that when you get really low on cards or you go all into a play, you don't just lose. You want to have a way to recover. A lot of what I'm going to be building is going to lean more towards the uh, more slow burn. You're putting things on the board, they're threats. Your opponent has to get rid of all of your human tokens, but at the same time, we want to have ways to go all in. So we're just going to have a couple of those, and then mostly we're just going to focus on adding things to the board over time that make our opponent's lives more difficult. So let's just go ahead and put in, I want one other card that gives us a lot of card advantage. I think what we're going to do is just play Ancient Chant here in this slot. I like Ancient Chant in decks that need card advantage, but a lot of their cards are played for their effect. Because you can always go for the Ancient Chant if you don't have anything else. You can just recall it. Alright, so I think this is alright for now. We might end up putting in another card draw, like an erase type of effect. In fact, I think I'll just put the erase in now. Reason I really like erase is good decks tend to really struggle with unbanishable champions, and also a lot of your plays, you're very good at getting rid of one single target or a lot of things. You could just have this hard removal, but it tends to not be very efficient. So that's why we're going to run erase, because erase is a very efficient answer, but it basically draws them a card. So a lot of the time you can use this to get rid of something that's just a bit bigger than your tokens, and it will also refill our hand. Alright. I'm also probably going to consider Chronicler or Reusable Knowledge, because generally our zeros are going to be very strong for our deck. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Mobilize here, just because it makes the 3 human tokens for 0. We're also going to grab Revolt, because it gives all of our good champions +2 attack for 0, and puts a human token with Blitz into play. It's going to be a lot of offense for 0. That's going to be one of our cards that really can blow things out of proportion. I also tend to like 1 bodyguard, just because certain decks really struggle with the 1 bodyguard. Like a wild heavy deck doesn't have any way to remove cards from your discard pile. They're not going to be able to handle bodyguard very well. But I don't want multiples because I don't want to have 2 in my hand, and it doesn't synergize with our deck that much. It's more of a silver bullet. We're also definitely going to play Inherence of the Meek, because banishing all non-tokens will be extremely strong for us. We're also going to play Lay Claim, just because making 4 human tokens and drawing a card is pretty powerful for our deck. Let's also play Justice Prevails, just as a way. One thing that's very nice about Justice Prevails is if you have 3 or more tokens, then this represents giving 9 offense and drawing a card with some health gain attached. So it tends to be powerful when you don't have a lot in play. We want to add a couple things to the board, and then we're going to use, we're just going to rely on dealing with our opponent's stuff and hitting our opponent. So we're going to play Breath of Life here, just because it makes 2 humans and gives us a thing back from our discard pile. We could also use it on our opponent's turn, and the 2 humans they get won't be super relevant, because if they use their humans to block our humans, then at least they're trading. Alright, I think from here, we have more options. So this would be something like maybe what I would consider the core of this deck to be for now. I think we'll also put Amnesia in so that we don't worry about the game going long, because I think that in general our game plan will end up leaning more towards the long side. Alright, so let's just go over to good. So right now we have 18 and 7, so we could get 2 more good zeros. But let's just go ahead and try and get to 40 altogether. So with 18 and 6, we have 24, so we need 16 more good, just cards, one-cost cards in general. So I think what we're going to do is pick up some more good champions for Breath of Life to be better. We want good champions that we can target. So I'm going to go ahead and play Palace Guard here, put the foils in. Just because it's removal and it's very powerful if played and you need to remove something, it can really help you stabilize. We're also going to play Imperial Commander here just because it gives our human such a big boost and draws a card. It'll often just get removed, but if we play this and we draw a card and then they remove it, it's generally pretty good for us. I think what we'll do is, honestly, we could probably play Frantic Digging in this deck if we want. So I think I'm going to lean towards Frantic Digging, and then we'll just toss in some number of Noble Martyrs here. There's a lot of discard right now, so Marcus might be reasonable, at least as a one-of. So I'll put 1 in for now. Let's run some Bounty Hunters. We want more good champions to target. Right now we have 34, so we need 6 more. So we're going to play some more Sage cards, I think. Let's run Chronicler. This will give us some ambush champions, and also this is very powerful when your zeros are strong, because you can play the 0 right away, or you can play a 0 twice in a turn. And we also want a way to deal with things that are small, which we don't have much of. Might be fine. I mean, we could run Helion, but Helion's a bit rough. Could run Storm Dragon here, but I'm not sure that we really need it. Could run Thought Plucker. We could run a Wave of Transformation. I think that we want another board wipe, since right now we have Breath of Life and Inheritance to Meek. We are probably going to struggle with tokens. That's one thing I'm thinking about right now. So how can we solve that issue? Other small champion decks. A lot of events. It might just be right to play Lessons Learned. Yeah, I think we're going to play Lessons Learned, and we'll run the Frantic Digging. I think we'll just have to suffer with the lack of small champion removal. Then over here we have another good lot of good zeros to play. So we want 28, that means 14 good zeros. So I'm going to play Priestess Evangeline just because it's very good when you have a lot of good one-cost cards, which we do. And the same thing goes for White Dragon. And then we have one more 0. So how many humans do we have? We have a good amount. We could probably run 1 Faithful Pegasus, or 1 Paros, or 1 Courageous Soul. Or Brand. So we have a lot of reasonable options here. I'm going to go with we have quite a bit of recycle. I think we want to actually reduce the amount of recycle we're using. Nice. Yeah, congrats on the job. Alright, let's take another 0 cost. I think we're going to go with the 1 of Courageous Soul. That might be wrong. It's definitely not how I would usually play. Let's just take Faithful Pegasus. Not a we're going to have a lot of recycle. That might be fine. A lot of recycle. Could be fine. might be a problem. We'll go with the brand instead. I really think we're going to have an issue with the amount of recycle we have. Might even want to cut down. Maybe cut down 2 priestesses for brands. Just because I do think that recycle is going to be an issue. Alright, so we're all set. We're just going to call this human tokens. Pretty simple. Alright. Where do I come up with these crazy names? I'm always open to new names. Do you have an idea? Maybe they're so crazy that I just have to take different names. Maybe something about humans. Call it revolution. We got a revolt. This feels like a revolution. We've got a bounty hunter. We've got a commander. Here's the meek. Got a lot of revolution happening here. We're gonna go with revolution. And revolt. And that's gonna be the namesake. Revolt's going to be very strong for us, mostly because it just represents so much for 0. I think that even though this is a human tokens deck, we don't actually have that much in the way of generating tokens. So we'll be making tokens, but it won't be every turn we're just slamming down more and more tokens. More like we do something, we do another thing, we have 2 human tokens in play. And we'll be going for big turns with Justice Prevails or Imperial Commander. The other thing that we don't have in this deck is a Punisher, so I might go down Bounty Hunters and play something like Gold Dragon, kind of like that. We're gonna go down 2 Bounty Hunters, up 2 Gold Dragon. Gold Dragon is another card that I really don't like to see multiple of. Phalanx. Phalanx is also good. Call Phalanx. Is this spelled with 2 or 1L? I always forget. 1L. Yeah, it's spelled with 1L. Yep. I don't use that word very often. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Alright, let's go against Burn here. We'll see how it does. Phalanx. It's interesting. Alright. This is my litmus test, as usual. We're going first. I don't really like any of these cards going first. Keep the Inherence of the Meek because it draws 2. It's a decent option. That's about it. Alright, I played Strafing Dragon. Revealing Fire Shaman and Kong. I think we're just drawing 2. And that's going to be with the Justice Prevails. Justice Prevails is going to be very good here. We're going to use the Revolt. I think Inherence of the Meek will also be quite good. And we can't draw 2 with Breath of Life. Strafing Dragon me again. For 4 damage. Alright, we're going to play this Inheritance here. Revealing the same 2. Alright, Shaman. Like I said, we're gonna have struggle. We're gonna have a difficult time dealing with cards like this. Just gonna frantic digging to draw some cards here. It's not looking great. Okay, draws 2. We're gonna Gold Dragon here. It's a weird Flame Spike. In any case, we're gonna give this +3 attack so that we gain 8 here. Take some advantage. Just reveal both Breath of Lives. So Greek and Latin mean both. What's the deal with that? These Breath of Lives are getting stuck in our hand. The lessons learned or justice prevails. Let's use the lessons learned. Draw 2. Sure thing. Just take this as an opportunity to gain some health. Nice thing about ambush with Justice Prevails is that you can play it during combat and play the Justice Prevails. So Guilt Demon, Bodyguard. There's a couple of cards like that that are just very good for it. Alright, let's put 4 humans into play, draw a card, get back the Bodyguard. Feeding Frenzy doesn't do anything. Another weird play. Turn has to start. Okay. Let's run out this Imperial Commander first, actually, just because it'll give me the Bodyguard back, and it'll make these humans such a big threat that the Imperial Commander needs to be dealt with. And then we'll swing it with 1, because the loss of losing 1 isn't big, but we have lethal on board. So if we pass and the AI didn't have an answer, then we would just they would just start its turn. There's a Lash. It's fine. No big deal. Alright. Seems simple enough. Pretty good. We have a lot of sustain. The Breath of Lives were kind of awkward. I wonder if we want to go down on those. Also, Marcus, of course, didn't do anything, but it's a 1-of, and it'll mostly be good against the discard decks. It's possible that we could just replace it with something like Noble Martyr, so that's still fine. It's a Punisher. You can discard it to things. You can use it with Frantic Digging. That might be better. But the power of just putting Marcus into play directly is always very strong. Phalanx refers to a bone that's in a toe. The more you know. I don't know. We just run it back. I mean, how many good champions do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So almost 1 in 4 cards. If we get 2 higher, that would be ideal. That would be 1 of 4 cards. I don't think we want to cut any of those events, though. Did seem to have a lot of card draw. It's possible that I overshot the amount of card draw we needed. In which case, we could cut something like Ancient Chant or Erase or Lessons Learned. I think Lessons Learned was still very good for this deck. Could do something like Chronicler and Erase. Just so we have at least 1 card that's non-banish removal. See, we have a lot of targets for Lessons Learned is the thing. Regiment Messengers, Justice Prevails, Lake Claim, Adherence to the Meek, Breath of Life, and whatever events we have here. We could just get rid of this Frantic Digging. Just deciding. I really want to try out the Chronicler. It did seem like we were drawing a lot of cards last time. Breath of Life might, in this deck, I might not have enough targets, and the fact that you have to have a good champion in your discard pile for it to do anything means that we probably don't want to play 3 of it. I think if I was going to cut 1 card from this deck, it would probably be the Bounty Hunter. 1 good card, 1 cost card, I mean. In which case, we'll lose this Priestess Evangeline. So our deck's just more consistent. And then we can go ahead and lose... The question is, what do we want to add instead? We have a lot of card draw. I think we want ways to deal with small things. Could do like a surprise attack and Wolf's Bite. Maybe Flash Fire is kind of a no-go. Maybe Fork Jolt. Fork Jolt could be good. Feeding Frenzy is kind of cute. You know, they block a human token, then you Feeding Frenzy. Haha. We could play Surprise Attack and maybe a one of... Not sure what that one of would be. Maybe Flame Strike or Fires of Rebellion. Kind of like Fires of Rebellion. Let's give it a go. We'll go 3 Surprise Attacks, 1 Fires of Rebellion, or 1 Polar Shock. That's even better. 1 Polar Shock. Let's do 3 Polar Shocks. I think this card will be very good in our deck. Then we'll run the Fork Jolts here, just as a way to deal with small things. And we don't really want to add more Recycle Store deck. Then we can cut some of these Sage cards. We can go down the Ancient Chance. I think we have enough card draw. I think this was overkill. And we'll go down 2 other Sage cards here. I really want to try the Chronicler. I think we'll just go 2 Lessons Learned and 2 Erases. And then we go down 1 Frantic Dookie. We're set. Give that a go. Oh. Did I make a mistake? Five, 0, 7 ones. Right. The deck, I just queued to someone and my deck was illegal. I think we're going down 1 and up 1-1. That was my bad. I think we're doing this instead. 3 Erases are 2. A lot of events. Also, Lessons Learned doesn't do anything if you don't have it in the discard pile. We'll go 3 Erases. Alright. Feeding Frenzy seems great, yeah. The Feeding Frenzy is great for human tokens. I mean, I like having the burn. I think that, I really like Feeding Frenzy when it's more of a wild and good split, so that you can actually enable your Feeding Frenzies. Because if your opponent starts playing around them, then they can be very situational. They're a lot more situational than they seem. And a lot of the time, you need to have... They rely on you having a token in play, you attack with them, your opponent blocking with something big, and the token in the Feeding Frenzy being better than, let's say, 5 damage. Right. Because you could just play Lightning Strike. I think Feeding Frenzy is one of those cards that looks really good on paper, but it does require a lot of things to be set up. Yeah. I think it's just a lot of the time the 5 damage will be enough. If it's really big, then our deck handles that naturally because we have so much banishment. We have Inherence to Meek, Lay Claim, and Palace Guard. Let's see, so I think enemy turn we're keeping the Urgent Messengers. And Justice Prevails, Inherence to Meek. I think we definitely want Inherence to Meek. So I think these 3 is probably a good keep. Brachiosaurus, Strafing Dragon, Dominus. Oh, no Dome. Don't have enough loyalty, I guess. Let's just Urgent Messengers. We'll take the damage, then we'll Urgent Messengers and Inherence to Meek on our turn, so they don't draw a card. No need to attack. Frenzy to draw 2. Then we can just get in with these humans here. It seems this is going to be great for White Dragon. We'll get to recycle off of it. Oh, we're in. We're in. Alright, looks like random 30. It's not beginner because we have red, we have 3 colors. Opponent's going first here. I think we're going to play Dark One's Apprentice and Apocalypse. We're going to keep both of these. They're both great off-turn plays. We don't really need the Canopy Ranger. And I don't think we have anything in our hand that inherently sets it up, so I'll just toss that. This is great. We can Dracos Enforcer with loyalty too. Even though we didn't keep any wild cards. No, it's not Arena. I just quick matched. Looks like it's random 30. Rob is going first. Logan 1. Secret Legion to draw 2. I think it's an interesting debate over whether or not to. The real question is, do I make 2 wolves? I think so. I think in random 30 you play more risky than you normally would. Like, what's the chance that Rob has an off-turn Wrath, like a board clear, in hand right now? Pretty low. Pretty low. So we're just gonna go all in, I think. Seems good. Give all of our wild champions. This is a great start. If we, right now we're threatening to deal 20. Yeah. That could be a good change. Could say random 30 at the start or something like that. I mean, if you look at your deck, you don't know what it is, so it's random 30. Oh, fantastic. Sounds good to me. The Thunderous can actually stop my Dracos Enforcer. I think that's probably not blocking, so that my Wolf tokens can be blocked. I mean, in that case, let's just group attack. I mean, this is still blocked, so it does stop a lot of damage, but we only lose 1 wolf here. We get to take down that Angel of Light. Or we deal 10. It's a win-win. I feel like this has to be blocked, though. This is just so much damage to take. I don't think it's worth attacking twice to deal 5, bringing Rob down to 24, and then losing 1, and not being able to clear the Angel of Light. So it's definitely a group attack here. Great. Good. We've got Standard Bearer. Will probably be our play if Rob clears the board here. We've got a great hand. This hand's very good. Thunderous. Alright, so we're just going to draw 2 here. I'm going to draw 2 with Apocalypse. Lightning Strike will actually help us to clear this Thunderous if it blocks the Draka's Enforcer. So that'll be the plan right now. Go Draka's Enforcer first. I think so. We're going to go Draka's Enforcer first. Just looking to see. I can temporize the Thundarus if it attacks. So I'm not really worried about it attacking. I'm just going to go Draka's Enforcer here. I think this is an obvious block. It kind of has to be done. And then I'll start attacking with the other things. I'm kind of expecting that the Forest Dweller gets removed here. So if that happens, then post-block, I'll just swing out the Wolf token. And then play a Savage Uprising to deal 9 damage to all 1-cost champions. Which will leave my... it'll clear the Thundarus, and I'll have the Wolf token still. If this gets blocked, I'll play the Lightning Strike here to deal 5 damage and finish it off after I finish my other combats. If this doesn't get blocked... Alright. Yep, so that is going to actually kill Forest Dweller and both of my champions. So 8 more. Yeah, we're gonna have to, if we had a way to deal 3, we can Darkwind's Apprentice plus Lightning Strike, so we have something in play. That's just faint. Kind of tempted to just Blue Dragon and then temporize it, because it's a really good target to temporize. And both these other cards have very high utility against small champions, so I think I'm going to do that instead. Just going to ignore it. Play this 0. Make it look like we're going to block. I mean, if both these get board cleared, if there wasn't a board clear played last turn, I don't think Rob has a board clear now unless it's a banish all. Probably looks like I have Brave Squire. That would be very meaty. Keep the Thundarus. I lose both my champions. We have 3 dragons in play right now. Big dragon, baby dragon, and blue dragon. Pyrosaur with loyalty 2, I'm guessing, to take on my blue dragon. It is loyalty 2. So there's a lash. That's good to know. We're going to block it with this. Now if Thundarus gets removed, then alright, good. If that didn't attack, I would be in an awkward situation. But now that it did, I can put it on top of its owner's deck, and then Pyrosaur will die because it's no longer getting the +5/+5 bonus, as this is a dinosaur dragon. So we know there's Wolf's Companion, Lash, and Faint in hand. And that Thundarus is on top of the deck. But that was not a hard answer, so we're going to have to deal with Thundarus again. I kind of just want to pass here. I'm not really excited about any of these plays. We could play Standard Bear, and then Rob would just faint, which is not great for us. So I think I'm just going to pass. And then Rob's going to start their turn and play the Thunderous. Just going to run out the Standard Bear and then start coming in with the tokens. Inheritance makes it a bit awkward here because it banishes all non-token champions. That's alright though. Probably going to make some play with Savage Uprising and Lightning Strike this time. Like what I'm guessing is I'll come in with this human token. It'll get blocked. And I'll come in with both of these and the Standard Bear will get removed somehow. But I guess we'll see. If that happens, that would be great, because then I could, like if Standard Bear gets removed and this gets blocked, that would be perfect. I could Savage Uprising and Lightning Strike to take it out. Both of these together are only 14 damage. We have 9 damage to each 1-cost champion. And 5 damage to target champion, so that's 14. We have no real way to deal with the Thunderous permanently. Alright, faint happens. Value. Just gonna keep coming in. I will probably also attack with the Standard Bear here. If this gets eaten by the... I guess I can haste retreat that, which is fine. If I block it with the Darkwood's Apprentice. Here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and Darkwood's Apprentice, deal 3 damage to that and pass. Then we're going to block and try and bait out the Lash. If the Lash doesn't happen, our plan will be to Savage Uprising. If the Lash does happen, then we'll hasty retreat. Also, if the Lash happens, we can Savage Uprising Lightning Strike if we want. But that would be very unlikely. There'd have to be like a Gold Dragon played right now for that to be a good option. Thunderous is very big. It's hard to hard remove, but it's very easy to soft remove. So usually you can just keep getting rid of Thunderous, but it's difficult to get rid of forever because you basically need to have a break target champion. Otherwise, it'll just play it again. Alright, that's another dragon. Gets the bonus. Alright, that's fine. Weapons a lot. I don't want to hasty retreat that. I think I'm just going to take the 11. So if this damage happens, we can Savage Uprising both of those away. Unless this gets Wolf Companioned. If they play Lash, then I can hasty retreat here. Alright. That's value right there. 0 cost, just return it to hand. I think we might need the burst from Savage Uprising to deal 5 damage to target player and draw a card. I'm going to draw 2 with this, lying in wait. Overall, I think that that hit was a lot, but we're still in this. We're very much still in this. Going for 7 first. Just want to Drain Essence that right now. And then Lash will probably be recalled. Or an Ambush Champion will be played. I could come in for 2. But if I'm planning on Drain Essencing, thing is I can't just pass and take 6 here. That's the biggest downside to this current plan. So I have to either get rid of that or force my opponent to act first. Let's just use the Drain Essence. Can't play a bigger champion. And then I'll pass. Just because what'll happen, I'm thinking, is I pass, Rob just plays Thunderous and then attacks me for 11 again. And I don't have any way in my hand to deal with that 11 attack. And I'd be at 11. Oh, Drain Essence is great. Really helps with racing. So we know that, we also know there is a Thunderous in hand. Alright, that's fine. We're just going to pass here. We're going to chump this Royal Escort, so we're just going to block it with a human token. I'm guessing Thunderous comes down here to give Rob 3 more health with the ally ability. Or you play a good 1-cost card, gain 3 health. That's fine. Now we have an advantage, because even though we're losing a human token, we can just keep hitting for 7. So we hit for 7. So Thunderous has to come down here just to block this this Dark One's Apprentice. I'm going to draw 2 with this Inherent's the Meek because it's been pretty awkward not being able to banish the Thunderous, and I think our other cards are very important to have. Some good options. Can Necromancer Lord something? Not even sure what that would be. You can Breath of Life for value. You have a Standard Bearer, get 4 human tokens. I think we just come in with this, play the Savage Uprising, and then pass. It's kind of tempting to go Drinker of Blood, but it's also quite risky. Deal 9 damage to all 1-cost champions. Our human token stays alive because it's 0. And I don't really want to play Drinker because I prefer to use this Necromancer Lord. So I need to keep Drinker and Raxus Curse in hand until I want to use that. So what I'll do is I'll use it probably on the Blue Dragon or a Thunderous. So the Lash is coming back, that's fine. Just get in for 1. This is weak against like a Rampaging Worm, basically, or the Cyclops that has Blitz. I can't remember the name of. Boss defeated. I know that Thunderous really. How many cards are left? I can't see. I guess I can tell. Alright, Insurgency's coming in, so this is just 8 damage basically. Okay, Breath of Life back, Standard Bearer. And then we both get 2 humans. I get a 2/5. It's kind of lame. I can't Raxus Curse to break it because they're unbreakable this turn. Maybe I just take the 8. And then draw 2 with Lightning Strike. Puts me at 12. I think that's what I do. We'll make a different play if there's another pump here, like a revolt would be very dangerous. I could just bring back Pyrosaur. Clear the whole, all the human tokens. I could also, yeah, I don't really want to play the Raxus Curse because I want loyalty 2 for Necromancer Lord as well. I could use it just to block one of these and get a demon token. Just play it as a 0 cost ambush 4/4. But then I wouldn't have loyalty for Necromancer Lord. If I don't have loyalty for Necromancer Lord, it's dead. I mean, it's not useless, but I'll probably always spend my gold to do something else. Wing Death. Yeah. I'm gonna draw 2. This one will probably also come in for 2. One kind of funny play we could make is Faithful Pegasus and then Breath of Life to get back the Standard Bearer after blocks for 7 damage. Because we'd have 3 in the air, and then after blocks we could bring back the Standard Bearer to give each +2. I don't think it's worth it, but it's kind of funny. Wow. Alright, we're taking some damage. Hopefully we get Flash Fire. We could actually die to a lot. I'm probably going to spend my gold just to gain health. Could also play Drinker and Raxus Curse. Let's play this Faithful Pegasus first, and we'll recycle away some cards that we won't play. That we won't use out of our discard pile. Plum Bowl's not bad to have. I think we just gained the 12. Getting close to being decked out though. It's a big chunk. Yeah, we'll just pass after that. Don't really feel the need to be aggressive. I like holding these human tokens back with my Pegasus. I don't think the 1 damage is worth attacking. It seems like our opponent's on the aggressive. We might just lose to be getting drawn out. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, they have 16 cards in their deck. Seems like a lot. We are passing. I think we're in great shape. I think Rob's out of cards. I think the wolf token will come in here. I think I'm actually going to take the 2. The reason is I want to block a human token with the Pegasus and then have the Wolf's Companion come down, and then I can drain it. And then I can Raxus Curse the human that has the Wolf's Companion plate on it. Yeah, we're gonna block with the Pegasus. I'm not going to activate the ability to give the human token airborne because we'd have to block together. Whenever this attacks or blocks, one of your human tokens may gain, your human champions may gain airborne this turn and can attack or block with this card. So here comes the Wolf's Companion, and then we play the Raxus Curse. We still have loyalty 2 for our Necromancer Lord because we just drew this Necrovirus. Now these human tokens attacking are at a disadvantage, so they probably won't attack. I still have my gold up, and Rob still has their gold up, so Rob basically has to make some kind of 1 cost play now. Because I'm pretty far ahead. I'm just going to double check, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. Yeah, 15 cards left. Garbage Golem, revealing Cave Troll. Playing Cave Troll. Okay. just going to draw 2 here. Feeding Frenzy is a nice draw. It's a very good pickup. I think Pyrosaur is going to be insane. Just clears their board. Then his Garbage Golem blocks it. It'll already have 4 damage on it. It'll just die. I'm going to do that. We are not going to show... We won't show the Drinker of Blood. I guess I'm very likely to discard the Drinker of Blood. Let's just show the No Escape because I'm probably going to play this to draw 2 cards. And we'll show the... I don't think I'm going to set up a crazy combo with the Drinker of Blood. I think it's going to get discarded at some point. Let's do those 2. Bring back the Pyrosaur. I probably should have attacked first, but this is fine. And then we'll hide the Feeding Frenzy. We don't want to use it because we already have such a big advantage here that that if this block happens, I'm happy with it. Oh man, it's so gross. Especially on a board where your opponent actually has a lot of things in play. I mean, what happens here? We call Wolf's Companion. Block with the wolf, play it on the wolf. That's the whole gold would be spent removing this Pyrosaur that already had its enter the battlefield effect happen. But taking 6 is also rough. Brings you down to 12, and then you take 3 in the air, down to 9. Not a good place to be. I mean, yeah, it's just... kind of want to leave the human token back. I guess the gold's still up here. We're going to come in for 2. Not give the human token airborne. Mostly because I want to continue to apply pressure, and I think the chance that Rob has an airborne ambush champion is pretty low. No pass here. Rob still has a gold, so it makes sense for Rob to spend the gold to at least recall Wolf's Companion or Lash, if nothing else. And all of the time when your opponent doesn't make a play, you can make some assumptions. So Rob probably doesn't have any kind of bounce. 3 damage target play on each of their champions. Oh. Doming me. Okay. I guess I might be dead. Surprised that wasn't 3 damage to me and all of my champions. I might be dead. We're just going to Feeding Frenzy that and continue to... We're going to assume this play has something to do with dealing damage to both players. I'm not really worried about blocking a Blitz champion because it doesn't really make sense for Rob to make that play if Rob's plan was play the Blitz champion on the ground and attack me. Plus I have a Necrovirus in hand, so I can just play that. I'm just going to come in with everything. This shuts off Draka's Fire from being the win, so I can't die to like Draka's Fire and 2 more sources of damage for 0. Also means I can't die to Whirlwind, because Whirlwind deals damage to both players. Yeah, I could resurrect his Royal Escort for health. Gives 3 health when it comes into play. And then also ally ability gain 3 more health. Although I think I could Strafing Dragon for the win. If I gain priority right now. And Rob should know this. So right now Rob should be planning, how do I not just die to Strafing Dragon? Because I revealed 2 wild cards for Pyrosaur. And they weren't Feeding Frenzy. And I also activate this Necromancer Lord, so I have it out. Lethal is way better. It's a close game. I mean, we could die to something. It's not impossible. We could die to like a Flame Strike or a Fire's Rebellion plus anything else, basically. Interesting. Pyrosaur. I wonder if that was always the play. So I could either Necrovirus or I could Chomp. Yeah, I'm not taking 6, that's for sure. So, do I want us both to have a zombie or not? The answer is yes. So I'm going to go ahead and Chomp that. The main reason I want us both to have a zombie is if I draw Flash Fire off the top, I win. Or, alright. And also, it gives me a blocker against a 0-cost Blitz champion that's on the ground, like a Dark Knight. Could still die. It's coming for 4. If one of these doesn't get blocked, we're going to Canopy Ranger it. Just try and win. If they both get blocked, I'll probably Den Mother. I could Saren, but then Wolf's Companion just gets recalled. Alright. I think both blocks there was correct on Rob's part. I'm just going to play as Den Mother. I think that playing Saren and attacking, forcing Rob's play to be Wolf's Companion is also good, but I think Wolf's Companion has a very high chance of being recalled at this point in the game. This basically makes it so that next turn I win if my board isn't basically completely removed. Because I have 6 damage on 3 bodies, and then this is Breakthrough, and it gets bigger if these wolves aren't dealt with by my turn. My board could be stopped by something like Raxo with Loyalty or any board clear. But if Rob has a board clear, it probably needs to be used to draw 2. Oh. I think that kills Rob. Yep, it does. So if you deal damage to both players, if both players die at the same time, then the player with less health loses. If both players would die at the same time, and they would both end up with the same health, then the player that whose turn it isn't loses. Wins. The player whose turn it is loses. So if we both had 7 health, Rob could play, and Rob played Whirlwind on Rob's turn, then we'd both lose. Then Rob would lose. But so you get the most amount of time to try and react. But most of the time, it just means whoever has less health will lose. Anyway, that was interesting. I played around Drakensfire and Whirlwind, and it paid off. So I did only play 1 game, but I am just going to end the stream here. That was a good game. Yeah, I think that was a great game, and hopefully we can have some more games like that where we just have back and forth. And honestly, what's really nice about Random 30 is it gets you thinking about different cards. So, I have played with. I'm trying to think of which card that is. Like, I haven't played with Thunderous in a while. And Thunderous is a great card in that it is just so hard to get rid of permanently. The main downside is that usually it just gets stalled a lot. Usually you just return to hand, or you make it so you just block it with something over and over again, and then it just doesn't really do anything, or you break it. But breaking it is basically the only way to take it down, aside from maybe like a Kong and another way to deal damage to take it down. But anyway, that's going to end the stream for today. So I'll be back on Monday. But in the meantime, have some epic games.